And people ask me if I have always the same setup. It's always pretty much the same setup, but in different contexts. Good morning traders, welcome back to Taichung. It's getting pretty hot, which I really like. I want to share some trade setup today, but let me first grab lunch because I'm really hungry. So it was a good lunch in a Japanese restaurant. Now, I know you guys like when I get to the point and when I do things fast for the trading stuff. So let's get right away to the trade setup. Okay guys, so let's not waste time and let's get right on the chart. Here are the setup I wanted to show you guys in this video. First off, I've been saying a few days ago that I was looking for a trade on AUD/JPY. Now this trade, I'll show you what happened, but basically this was on the 1 hour chart. And price was hitting this major level here, 82.0, so 82, which is a very good support level. Now, I was basically looking for, if I'm not mistaken, this thing right here, but price ended up just falling further. And I didn't take any other trade on that afterward. Those candlesticks kind of happened at night, so I couldn't trade that at all. And eventually that just went back and felt lower near this is getting to 80, so that's quite lower. Now the two trades I want to show you guys today are kind of two correlated trade on very similar pairs, and those are on AUD and ZD, AUD New Zealand dollar, as well as Euro Australian dollar, so Euro AUD. The thing with that is that those pairs are likely to be correlated. See how we have AUD on both pairs, so that it's something that you want to be careful with. And I've told you guys in the past how I manage those trades. I'll put the video in the corner here, but there's many ways you can go about it. Either you keep the same risk, you split, or you look at the correlation stuff. You guys will be able to know in that video how I manage this. Now the trade setup are pretty much the same, although the context is a little bit different, hence why I want to cover both. So AUD and ZD, this one happens kind of as a retest of a zone that was a major zone in the past. So as you can see, price been ranging for a long time between 1.04 and 1.13. Those are the biggest two zones. If you want to trade reversals, those would be the zone to trade at. Now you need to consider though that, and if we go on the daily chart, that's going to be much clearer, that there's still some big zone. Like this is a huge range. Okay, this is a range of around like 900 to 1000 pip, and so this is really wide. If you're gonna wait to low zone to trade, you're gonna trade very seldomly. So if I see that there's another major zone in between that's still major, like we still have clear bounce and everything, I'm willing to trade it because that's gonna be a good zone. Now on the daily chart, we clearly see that the other zone we have between those two levels, so 1.04 and 1.13, is the zone at 1.08. Okay, that's another major zone. We've been bouncing a couple of times in the past, so let me just highlight this right here. We've been bouncing many times, and when we broke down of that zone, we kind of came back to retest the zone. We came back first time here. Now I didn't take a trade there, probably there was no setup or something of the sort, or there was a setup, so that could have been a good place to take a trade. But for some reason, on the daily chart especially, I didn't take that trade here. So, but you also need to understand that there's always the opportunities to come, and that if you don't take a trade the first time, just don't get mad, don't get disappointed, just wait, and you will probably have another way to take a trade, which is what we have here. And I especially like this because I'm gonna have a better reward to risk on this. See how this is what's taken on the 4 hour chart. Okay, so this is the candle at, I think, starting at 1 p.m. The way this works is always the same thing. So since we could not enter at the top over here, we still wait for future pullback or future retracement in that case, which we had here. Engulfing candle bringing out to the Bollinger Band. I like this setup because it's like really strong. So we have this small candle, bigger candle here with a high above the previous high, and close here below the low. which I really love. So entry below the low, stop loss above the high, and give it some room. Like, it's not tight at the high. You need to give it some room. And reward to risk 3 to 1, which if price is gonna push and go far, it's gonna go at least 3 to 1. Okay, now we are, I think, at 2 to 1. But then I also, as always, took partial profit at 1 to 1. Now the other setup on Euro AUD, okay, was pretty much the same, man. I've showed you guys this trade here in the past, okay, a few weeks ago, or just a few days ago, whatever. Now, this trade worked out pretty good. We had a 3 to 1 of reward to risk that we achieved, which is perfect. But now, you need to understand, you need to be flexible. It's not because you've sold one time that you need to always sell. And this is like a resistance area, so you need to sell, sell, sell. It's not how it works. If price is showing you that it's going to do something different, or it's going to go against your first trade, and you have a setup, then take it. It makes sense. Alright, so what happens at price, yes, push back at the resistance area, 1.57, okay? But thereafter, it shoot back up and went above this high, okay? See how this is a high, went above? So it's clearly a sign that the bar is on control, more than the sellers. And we had the same setup that I'm looking for. So engulfing candle, 2 candlestick breaking outside the Bollinger Band, entry above the high, stop loss below the low, reward to risk 3 to 1. And if price, once again, if price is gonna work out, and if the move to the upside is gonna work out, 3 to 1 is easily achievable, okay? Because take a look at the weekly chart, okay? Like, if you're gonna push above and start to trend above this like 1.60 zone, for sure you're gonna reach 3 to 1, okay? That would really make sense. And so I always take profit at 1 to 1. This one we didn't reach 1 to 1. I think like 1 to 1 is just above this high here, so we didn't reach it yet. We came back down a little bit, but that's fine, that's part of it. And the other take profit at 3 to 1. So that's again the trade. See, same setup, and people ask me if I have always the same setup. It's always pretty much the same setup, but in different contexts. And you have to understand the context first before you can trade this setup anywhere. Okay, you don't trade anywhere. You need to understand what's happening behind the setup, and that's really important. Hope it makes sense, and let's get back to the day. And welcome back in the street of Taichung. Now I want to go check out the formal city hall, which is a place I've been recommended to go see. It's not far from here, so let's walk a little bit and check out what that looks like. Now, don't ask me to be the tour guide, I'm really bad at that, but you see 2 beautiful buildings behind, and one of them is the city hall, the other one is something else, and that's about it. So I entered that building here, which seems to be describing the other building in front, the city hall. And those are pretty cool buildings. They're a little bit old, I think. Well, based on what they look like and the architecture, they're not new for sure, but they're beautiful. And speaking of which, there's a shop nearby from here, I think, that serves the original milk tea. It's like one of the first stores in Taiwan that started to serve milk tea. So we'll try to take a look and see what it looks like. And milk tea better be good because it's getting really hot, and yeah, we'll see.
See your receipt and put it on the table, please.
it's a good milk tea. Good to try it out for sure. Now it's gonna be time to head out. It's always nice to be in different areas that you've never been to before in the city. And so here's kind of a local area. I think there's a bunch of local stores. I'll try to walk around and see what I come across here. And now heading back to the hotel. While I came across this local food stall, I'll try to pick up some food and get back to the hotel. Well, always good to try stuff when you travel, and always good to discover. Even if things are bad, like I like to try them once and then I know they're bad and then I don't buy them after that. But that's the whole point. So I get this thing at a small kiosk downstairs. Looks like kind of a bread or something similar. Doesn't look super healthy though, but. And then I've got one of these, which they sell kind of everywhere on the street. I have no clue what this is, none of it's good or not, but should be fun. Definitely gonna try it out for sure. And of course, because you have to make this healthy, salad, which is gonna be the equilibrium in all of this. Thanks guys for watching, I appreciate it. If you have any comment, any suggestion, comment below for sure. If there's any topic you want me to cover, comment below. Give a like if you enjoyed the video today, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna have to plan something for tomorrow tonight. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. But you guys will know what it's about tomorrow. Ciao.